call things to order. Good morning. My name is Dr. Bambi Gaddis. I am a proud resident of the Martin Luther King Lower Waverly community. I think since 1992 is when I was recruited, and I'm so glad that I'm here, particularly today. Before we begin, we would like to open with a word of prayer to make sure that we're all in one accord. And so I would invite Councilman Ed McDowell to the podium. And since I have the liberty of the mic, I just want to thank him for just an awesome eulogy yesterday at the loss of Chris, who was a good and faithful servant for the city of Columbia. And so I'm going to say in his memory, we lift him up to this morning, and we're grateful for his life and what he brought to the city.
Let us bow our heads. In the midst of all that we tend to do, in the midst of all that we've done already this day, we thank you, God, for this day and this hour, for those who have given of themselves, their time, their talents, their gifts, and service. We thank you for this community that continues to build and grow in ways that are meaningful for our city. For the leadership of this community and for this servant mayor who gives of his time, talents, gifts, and service to foster a greater sense of community. Bless us. Bless this new endeavor as we try to forge forth an emphasis of growth and positivity. Bless us, grant us your grace and your peace. We ask it, and we claim it in the mighty and precious name of Jesus the Christ. And every heart said, amen.
So on behalf of our Mayor Rickerman, and County Council members that are present today, we have an awesome opportunity to celebrate a legacy. And the legacy is of Martin Luther King. And so for those of you who are not aware of the history of this community, I'm going to take a few minutes, if you'll allow me, to share some facts with you. Waverly was an early subdivision of what was called the Robert Lotta Plantation. In the 1860s, it became one of the first residential suburbs of Columbia. In 1870, residential lots were sold. The neighborhood developed into a racially mixed community. Growth in the area developed because of the electric streetcars that were developed in 1894. In the 19th century, Waverly became popular with African Americans because it allowed access to educational and medical institutions. Waverly transitioned gradually from a predominantly white suburb to an African American suburb and was incorporated into Columbia city limits around 1913. In 1979, Historic Waverly split into separate neighborhoods. Lower Waverly, where we stand, is bound by Gervais, Santee, Hardin, and Millwood Streets. The historic homes in Lower Waverly represent the late 19th and early 20th century cottages, the shotgun homes, some of which still have their original tin roofs, symmetrical facades, and ornate porch posts that really replicate or show a Victorian influence. In the more recent periods, in the late 60s and 50s and 60s, there are houses that show the influence of Frank Lloyd Wright and the bungalow. So early in 19th century, many African American communities and businesses settled in Lower Waverly, including the Weaver family, whose matriarch was Columbia's first African American librarian. The Frasers and the Labords family ran safe havens. And if you've ever read about the Green Book, safe havens were homes for travelers who were colored, who were not permitted to stay in hotels around the city. The address of 1127 Page Street in Lower Waverly was the site of the home of Cecilia Deal Saxon. She was one of the first African Americans educated at the University of South Carolina from 1857 to 1935. In 1936, the Phyllis Wheatley branch of the Richland County Public Library opened in the lower form of the Waverly Methodist Church. Lower Waverly was also home of residents who were educators: Cecilia Deal Saxon, Dean and Mrs. T.J. Hansberry, Benjamin Harrison family, Ralph R. Stevenson. I am a proud owner of the home that he built as a professor at Booker T. Washington, or a contracting professor at Booker T. Washington High School. Davis family, C.A. Johnson family, and Durham Carter family. Additionally, artistes, businessmen, and women made their homes here, including the Satterwhites, Wilson A. Simpkins, and Henry T. Marshall. The clergy who resided in Lower Waverly included Reverend Bowie, Reverend Robert Simon, and Reverend Alvin Wakefield. Dentists in this community included Dr. Hempfield Pride, Dr. Robert Holoman, among others. During the 40s, 50s, and 60s, Lower Waverly housing thriving local stores and businesses were relevant. Hill's Grocery Store, Five and Dime, Satterwhite Store, Little Pigs Market, Patterson's Barber Shop, and Beauty Shop, let me get it right. Holman's Barber Shop and Marshall's Dry Cleaners. These businesses help the area to be self-sustaining and to thrive. Did I leave any businesses out? One of the essential entities of Lower Waverly community is Martin Luther King Park. Martin Luther King Jr. Park serves as an anchor within the community and provides activities for all ages. It was initially known as Shandon Pavilion, with green space and an amusement park. Later renamed Valley Park in 1895, this recreational area was for whites only. The park was racially integrated in 1950s. In 1993, the park was renamed Martin Luther King Jr. Park, and the Stone of Hope was erected on the park grounds. The stone looks like it represents an all-seeing eye, and the foundation is circular. Carved on the stone is a portion of Martin Luther King's I Have a Dream speech, and this is located on the west end of the park. In closing, today is a phenomenal day. Today is a day of celebration because we celebrate community. We celebrate families. We celebrate coming together. Due to a city grant, this is not on the script, due to Love Your Block grant, our neighborhood association was able to put up the small signs you see there, which I saw some of you taking advantage as a photo op. What we hope you'll see in that image is that we accept and welcome diversity in our community, and that this is a new opportunity that we have to not only be diverse and to be welcoming to everyone, but also to create opportunities for families to thrive. So today, we still want you to know that there is a concern about developer encroachments, that regentrification and heir properties neglect is a concern of ours. Consequently, the goal of the Martin Luther King Lower Waverly Neighborhood Association is to work towards initiatives that engage all of our residents in the community, empowering residents to have a voice in the direction of our neighborhoods and building a safer neighborhood by reducing and preventing crime. So today we welcome you and we look forward to great things ahead. I am being followed up by greetings from our illustrious Neighborhood Association President. We love her, and we are glad that she has taken on this role in being an advocate. Vivian Armstead James. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Greetings. Welcome to MLK Lower Waverly community. I bring you greetings from the Neighborhood Association and from the residents of this community. We would like to thank Mayor Rickerman and Councilman McDowell, the City of Columbia, who has worked diligently with us, the Department of Parks and Rec. I always love Charmaine Clark from, community engagement, helping us with the Love Your Block grant, working with the Community Development Corporation to enhance and to further our community. This community is one of the last strongholds of a historic community within the City of Columbia. Sometimes I speak with the mayor and I'll say to him something that we need done or some problem that I identify, and he'll say to me, yeah, right there on the corner where all those guys are hanging. And I ask him, how do you know? And he says, I ride through there frequently. He stopped and told them, pick up that trash. He is involved in keeping our community vibrant and clean and prosperous. Councilman McDowell, who has helped us with, while you're here in the community, go down and ride by the park and see the new playgrounds, the new bathrooms, and further things are also coming from our partnership with the city. So ride through our community and look at the historic homes. Greet some of the community folks that are here today. Ms. Bivens, Ms. Counts, I saw some other community folks that are already here, because we welcome you into this neighborhood. We welcome this project, these new homes that will help people move into home ownership is a vital part of keeping this community growing. So I greet you in the name of my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, and I greet you in the name of the Lower Waverly, MLK Lower Waverly Neighborhood Association. Thank you so much. Oh, Tyler Bailey. I didn't get to that. See, this is how the Neighborhood Association meetings run. I want to give a shout out to Councilman Tyler Bailey, even though he probably doesn't want me to, I will. One, because he has stood in the gap for us on numerous things, given us feedback and told us how we might want to approach some things before we approach our Councilman McDowell or our illustrious mayor. But I want to say that he has a new initiative in partnership with Sheriff Leon Locke. And that is another example of how our councilmen and women, but certainly in this case, are trying to support families. And so this whole initiative about partnering with parents who have children who are in distress, trying to figure out new ways to intervene before it's too late, and channeling young people into places where they and their parents might need help before we end up in a dangerous situation, is part of why this community supports that he brings to the world. So I want to thank you for that initiative, and I look forward to hearing great things about that. I bring to the fore our mayor, Daniel Rickerman. Vivian has spoken of his contributions to this community, and I would like to welcome him to the floor.
Good morning, everyone. It's another great day here in Columbia, South Carolina. But, it was great to hear everybody talk about this neighborhood and this community. But the reality is the reason that you see things happening is because we're working together. We're working collaboratively together to improve the quality of life. And that has been one of this council's major objectives. That's what our city manager's objective is. And by taking property, and you heard a lot, Vivian talked, both Bambi as well, about the neighborhood. We've had empty lots in this neighborhood for a long time. And now we have an opportunity with the lots that we own to start being the seed. And the conversations that we're having with the church and other folks out there about taking these empty lots and converting them into opportunities for this neighborhood to thrive and grow. And she's right. The most frustrating thing is to drive through here on a Monday morning and see where somebody chose to dump their trash on one of these empty lots over on Stark or Cherry, or even right here on Height Street, just down about a half a block before you make the turn. That's not who we are. And that's not what we want. And we're going to continue to build together. This is just the beginning. As we do it here, we're going to do it in Belmont, we're doing it in Booker, Washington. We are taking assets, but we're not stopping there. Through the city manager's initiative of bringing in partnerships to help us do what other cities have done, Charlotte, Atlanta, and other places, bringing in folks who can help with that air property that we struggle with. Help figuring out innovative ways where we can leverage dollars from different sources to bring home ownership. Folks, we have less than 46% home ownership. Less than 46. Our goal is to boost that up. We got to get above 50. But we also have to recognize that we need different type of housing today. We need townhomes, we need quadruplexes, we need duplexes, not just single family homes. And where are those appropriate? By working each together, using technology to map out and see all the opportunities that are across our city, which are vast. You'd be surprised at how many lots are empty across our community. We've got to change, bring people back downtown, be part of this great community. And the only way we do that is continuing to work together. Collaboration is the key. Conversation is the key. Are we always going to agree? No. But that's okay. That's what we're supposed to do. We're supposed to discuss. We're supposed to work together and continue to do that at the table. As long as we always have a seat at the table together, we will thrive together. This is exciting to have these first two houses here, two across the street, and those lots eventually down the street as well. I think there's 7 total lots in this neighborhood. But there are also a lot of owns, potentially 31 townhomes across the street on Height Street. Potential senior living project with a medical center in the bottom of it. So when our goal is we look at the different parts and pieces, if it's townhomes, if it's quadruplexes, but also what are the amenities? How do we keep people who want to stay in their neighborhood? And that's our goal, is to work with everybody so that we do have a complete fabric across the city. So I challenge each and one of you today to be part of the puzzle. We always say that you're a puzzle piece, because puzzle pieces connect in multiple ways. So when you leave here today, how are you going to be part of that puzzle? How are you going to help us connect that fabric so that we grow our communities block by block, lot by lot, so that we have a strong, thriving community that doesn't have 2,100 empty lots in it? Thank you.
We're going to follow the agenda as it's outlined. Reverend Ed McDowell, Councilman McDowell will speak. I see Miss Teresa Wilson is here, so she can't escape us, and she will please come forward right after Councilwoman McDowell, and Miss Talisha Stewart, who is the board chairwoman of TN Development Corporation. And let me just say a fun fact, I didn't know until this morning, that TN stands for two-notch. And that there was a point in which a lot of residents were, a lot of buildings were constructed on Two-Notch Road. But they have, because they have a broader vision now, they are now TN Development Corporation. So write that down.
Touching your neighborhood. Yeah.
Mr. Mayor, our city manager, Ms. Teresa Wilson, our councilperson at large, to all of you who have gathered here today. Isn't it wonderful to celebrate this new beginning? Isn't it good to know that we are in a stage of collaboration and partnering? There are vacant lots in this community. But look, I think we are in a position now to move beyond where we are to where we futuristically want to become. Isn't it wonderful to know that some folk have deemed this area as a forgotten piece of property? No, that is not our dilemma. Our dilemma is for new development. And isn't it wonderful that a mayor and persons who are able to bring about new beginnings in this area, isn't it wonderful to know that it started? And we're just not talking starting. We're talking about a new beginning. Lots are available, not only in this community, but in other communities where there's partnerships taking place. Isn't it good to know that new single-family housing is available and that persons can adopt and afford a new beginning? Isn't it wonderful? Somebody ought to clap their hands and say, yeah. This city, the endeavors of this city is to move in a way that is going to prioritize affordable living and housing. And that's what we're doing. In every piece of property that is available for stick-built houses, we move, and we act, and we respond. And I must say, God has been good, and He continues to be good and to bless us tremendously. Thank you for being here, and look for the new development to take place. Ms. Wilson.
Good morning. Well, I'm thoroughly excited to reach this point because it is part of my job as Mayor Rickaman. I'm sorry, I've been with two mayors for the last several days due to our unfortunate death of one of our treasured employees. And even during those times, I think it makes it come full circle for us, the importance of community and family. And the city is truly a family to me personally, and for all of the employees I serve, and for the citizens that we are here as part of our job to be true public servants, to make things come full circle. And I love the title that the staff put on this event today, and I think the theme as we see the involvement of this project, the evolution of where we've come, as Dr. Bambi gave the history into where we are today, and Reverend McDowell just touched upon, some of our communities maybe have felt a little left behind or on the perimeter or on the periphery. So I feel like it's our time. It's their time, it's your time. It is the time for us with this council, and I really appreciate the purposefulness that Mayor Rickaman, Reverend McDowell, Councilman Bailey, and all the council members have really pushed with the staff to not only address some reports, studies that have sat on the shelf for years, and bring them to fruition by bringing in the right resources along with our own city staff to get this done finally, right? So that's where we are. And when Mayor Rickaman mentioned the resources of a consultant, just this last council meeting, City Council approved a contract for services with Dream Key Partners out of Charlotte. They are the experts in the field. They really assisted the city of Charlotte and their community development department to do all the things with the growth and development you see with affordable and mixed income housing in Charlotte. They are that partner there, so if they can do it there, they can do it here. I'm not really about reinventing the wheel, and we've done visits with them, we've brought them here, and now you all will touch and feel the work that they do in the community. They are experts with community engagement. They know how to leverage resources. They know how to get embedded with city departments to get this work done. I want our departments, Harrison, Joseph, Shonda, Felicia, with our community development department, Charmaine, to feel like they have an extension of themselves, to be a force multiplier, to help us not only do the groundbreaking here today with these slots, but in these other communities as well that have been mentioned this morning. So stay tuned. There's a lot of good work that's about to happen. We have come full circle, and I'm just claiming that today because I feel it in my heart. I'm really excited about the staff. We've got Jeff Palin, our assistant city manager, who's here, who's now going to be working collectively. We've brought the development corporations under the fold with economic development under his leadership, community development, planning and development. So all of the right departments are going to be working together to get this done. I will end by saying, you know, you got to have those voices in your ear. So we've heard you, Dr. Bambi. We've heard you, Ms. Vivian. We've heard you, Ms. Minnie Bivens. We hear you. We have heard you, and now's the time. And so the time is now, and we're ready. So stay in our ear. I know you will anyway. And we expect that, and we appreciate it to hold us accountable. But we want you to help direct the path forward. And I thank the council for giving us this opportunity to work with you in that way. Thank you.
Greetings. I would first like to acknowledge the Board of Directors for TN Development Corporation. Please stand as I call your name. Our Vice Chair is Jonathan Kirkwood. We have Kathy Snipes, Dr. James Lanford, Denzel Hare, Miles Hanley, Kevin Warner, Angela English, Brittany Richards, and also we have 2 advisory board members, Ms. Minnie Bivens, and also Katrina Hartmore. Thank you guys for serving this wonderful organization. On behalf of the Board of Directors of TN Development Corporation, I would like to begin by acknowledging our elected officials, Mayor Daniel Rickaman, Councilman Ed McDowell, Councilman Tyler Bailey. A special thanks go to all of these individuals and others in the City of Columbia for your unwavering support of this project and investment in the Lower Waverly MLK community. I have been a houser at Columbia Housing for the past 25 years. I've seen how an investment in a community, no matter how big or small, can truly make a difference. I understand the importance of investing in our communities and redeveloping vacant and blighted properties in our neighborhoods. I know that it takes organizations like TN Development Corporation to take a vision and create opportunities. As we stand here today, it only took that vision, along with collaboration, belief, and commitment, to make moments like this become a reality. The shoveling of the dirt represents growth and an opportunity for 4 new families to call this community home. When we think about home, for our children, home means a place of love, stability, and security. Our homes are a part of a broader community where people come together to support one another and build lifetime of memories. We know that the historic Lower Waverly MLK community will be a place of acceptance, growth, cultural identity, inclusiveness, and diversity. TN Development Corporation is investing in this community by building dwellings that will one day house souls that will call this place home. It is our hope that each new homeowner will add value to the pride that already exists in this community. As I stand here today, we are extremely proud to continue the transformative work that TN Development Corporation started in communities within the city of Columbia many years ago. These projects are not inaugural for us, but merely expansion of what we have always done, which is to provide quality, affordable homes, whether rental or homeownership. So to the historic Waverly MLK community and Ms. Minnie Bivens, we heard the call and answered it. The work that we are doing does not stop here. TN Development Corporation will continue to be one of the leaders in creating opportunities for future homeowners within the city of Columbia and surrounding areas. Finally, I would like to acknowledge and thank Harrison and his amazing team for making this groundbreaking ceremony possible. Many of us can stand here and speak on this project, but it's the team that works tirelessly to make things happen. So on behalf of the Board of Directors, I would like to thank you for all you do, and we appreciate you.
Our final 2 presenters are going to talk very firsthand about what is getting ready to occur within this community. I'm going to make a public announcement because, you know, people take brands. Mayor Rickerman, I spontaneously had a notion that TN actually stands for Touching Neighborhoods. So in case you see that somewhere, you'll know where it originated. Mr. Harrison Joseph III, who's Executive Director of the TN Development Corporation, will speak, followed up by Ms. Felicia Kilgore, Director of Community Development, and from that point, we will move into the groundbreaking.
Well, I am a developer. I know a lot about HUD, but what I am not is a public speaker, so you'll have to bear with me. But I want to give thanks to 2 of the key members of my team, Shonda Richardson, if she can stand up. She put this whole thing together. I had nothing to do with it. And Hector Garcia, some of you know him as Tito. He's our facility manager and our resident expert on just about everything. So I'm supposed to give an overview on the project, and I will do that, but I want to first kind of discuss the theme that we came up with was coming full circle. So you might say, what does that mean? How did it get started? So when we were first writing the grant, the home funds for the grant, Shonda came to me, she says, well, what's the theme? And I said, well, I don't have a theme, I'm just going to write it, Lower Waverly home ownership development. She says, she looked at me, and if you know Shonda, she looked at me and she said, Miss Livingston always had a theme for the project. And I said, well, I don't have a theme, so we'll sit down and we'll try to get something. So we sat down and we thought about something, and we came up with absolutely nothing. So the application went in as it was. So about 2 weeks ago, Ms. Bivens was talking about, I call it Upper Waverly, the Waverly Project, and it was called City Dreams. And it was done about 2001, and she said, those are wonderful poems, Mr. Joseph, and it was really nice, and they were supposed to, now she's on the board, they were supposed to come down, she started doing this, and they were supposed to come around to doing Waverly, but they never did. And I said, well, we're doing it now. And I thought to myself, what a great theme. Of course, that was a year later, but it came just in time for the groundbreaking. I said, coming full circle, we are coming back to develop Waverly. The project consists of 9 vacant lots, 4 of which are here. They will be 4 what they call cottages. The cottages will be anywhere from 12,000 to 15,000 square feet. Up to, okay, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, I was talking about my mom's home. 1,200 square feet and 500, 1,500 square feet cottages. They went through the planning and development process. They were vetted by the historical department. They were deemed appropriate for the area. They will be Energy Star certified, and they will be outfitted with a low interest loan that will be provided by community development. And with that, that ends my presentation. And Felicia will come up and talk about the loan that we provided.
Everyone. Good morning. So certainly I want to start out by congratulating TN, Harrison, Shonda. I worked with Shonda before. She's a hard-working person, and so it's not a surprise to me to see this project finally come to fruition. And we're truly excited for this housing project. Affordable housing is one of the forefront and dear to my heart as I have worked in community development over the years. There's nowhere near enough affordable housing, not only in the city, but throughout the entire nation. And so to see this come, start to break ground, we're excited. We're excited for this. And so I'm not going to go over any of the information that have been shared in regards to this community, the hard work that TN have done. You guys have been great partners of community development. Anytime that we ask for information, documentation to support the application process, you've been right there, as I say, Johnny on the spot in regards to moving us forward. And so what better use, I must say, of utilizing City of Columbia HUD federal programs, which is our Home Investment Partnership dollars. We're investing $2.2 million in this project, and this is exciting. So what makes this project affordable? What truly makes this project and these homes affordable is the usage of the City of Columbia Housing Loan Program. And I'm going to go over some of the benefits and the caveats of the program. One, we refer to as our Affordable Housing Loan Program, and that is actually what it's called, Affordable Housing Loan Program. And our City Limit One. Both programs are only $500 down. Okay, $500 down, and you're looking at financing for the remaining of that purchase price. Interest rate as low as 3%. which is totally unheard of in today's market. Rates now are tiptoeing around 6.5, and we've seen some 7. Our interest rate is low as 3. There's no private mortgage insurance involved in regards to the programs that we have. And we have 2 staff members in community development that is here and ready to move forward to work with potential buyers to buy these homes. I've told Shonda and Harrison, when we get the occupancy certificate, we're ready to move somebody in these houses. And so the day is now to start working with potential buyers to get them ready, get them qualified, get them pre-approved to purchase one of these houses. I have my staff members in the back, Ms. Katrina Lord, she's our senior loan officer. I have our housing program manager, Ms. Wanda Clark, on staff. Both of these ladies are on staff to start working with potential buyers now, today. So if anyone that you know that is interested in purchasing one of these homes, please feel free to have them to contact our office to speak with these 2 ladies to get them set up to come in, and so we can start working with them. They do have to qualify. We have underwriting guidelines in place. We want to set them up for success, and so it takes time to do that sometimes, to set them up for success so they can qualify. We are seeking a minimum credit score of 600 and also a record of being able to pay various bills, things of that nature on time, no track history of paying things on time. Success is our key, and that's what our goals to ensure that our borrowers are successful in terms of purchasing our affordable housing units, utilizing our federal dollars that we have in place. So I'm not going to mention anything further. Let me mention this before I sit down. I'll sit down with it. There is a subsidy. There is a subsidy that we have set aside to assist our potential buyers to help fill the gap, a needed gap that may be required to help them qualify. So we have $18,500 as a subsidy to assist in closing the gap to qualification of becoming a qualified buyer. So we will utilize those dollars if needed, to get them into homeownership. Okay. Any questions, please feel free to reach out to the 2 ladies in the back. And of course, you could always contact me. And I'd be more than happy to help you in terms of the affordable housing loan program.
We, on behalf of the Martin Luther King Neighborhood Association, on behalf of Mayor Rickaman, our councilman, McDonald, and Bailey, and all of those who are part of city government that has made this happen today, we thank you all for coming.